Welcome back to part 2 of how to slam a CT90. And I promise, only one more video, guys, about the mini bikes and random stuff. And then we get back to doing some cool stuff with the cycle cart. The GN Spider needs some work, needs to get ready for the new season coming up. So let's finish up the CT90, and here we go. Okay, so the next step we have here is we got a cheap ATV, Chinese ATV 90cc exhaust pipe, which is this. This has been cut in a few different places here and shortened here, but overall for 40 bucks, it probably sounds like a garbage can, but it looks good. And next step is going to be our old gas tank that we turned into the battery box. We're gonna make a few. You can see we got all the wiring ran up to this. So now that we have this, boop, we're gonna do some prototyping here, quick and fast way. We got our mold here, or stencil. You can see we made that fit for where we want to put this to cover it, because I'm going to put a couple toggle switches in here because I don't want to run the big fat control for the that normally goes up on here, the real cheap combo switch. I put the kill switch up here, but the combo switch is really big. So I'm going to be putting all the guts in the battery box here. You can see we got the battery and the starter solenoid and the wire harness for everything that would normally go up to your combination switch on there, because all I'm really going to have on there is the push button start and lights on and off. And to be honest, the lights are not going to be on very often, so I don't need the switch to be terribly convenient to get to. And we'll fab this up, go in here, and that'll be the next step. Good enough. Next thing I'm doing here is I got to do a little bit more modifying to the leg skirt for this. The leg skirt was originally made for a Honda Passport, which is close, but not exactly the same as a CT90. There's a lot of little body geometry changes, you know, angles of this and that and clearances. So that's why I've had to chop this thing up quite a bit. But by the time I'm done, that's just going to be all the little, you know, kind of cool bits that make it look unique. So here's what we're working on now. I had to cut this off of there, and that's because the carburetor that we ended up using needs a bump out for the petcock and for this choke assembly and for the air cleaner. So I figured it'd be probably best to just chop it all out and make a new panel that goes over it, and then it'll kind of match like what we did back here. You know, we did a lot of cutting back here, and so this original side cover didn't fit, so we just chopped it, put some speed holes in it. Looks pretty cool, matches the where we removed the seat up here. You know, that looks pretty good. We still got to make a bit more. I haven't figured out what I'm going to put in here. Maybe some kind of cubby or holder or toolbox or something. So for now, I'm just leaving it till I figure out what I want to do. But what we got here is a chance to try out something that I've been wanting to try out for a while, which is a little metal forming, because normally I'm just cutting and doing maybe a little rounding or some dimple dyeing, but I'm going to try and actually hammer out some bump outs and some thin aluminum for that, and I'll show you what I got planned here. We're taking some like thin gauge 18 or maybe 16, I don't know exactly what it is, it's left over from another project, but some thin grade aluminum. roughly put where I want to do the bump outs. I figured I'd show you what I did there. So real simple, towel hammer, ball peen hammers. I got two different flavors here, kind of a medium and large. And then just put the towel down on the workbench. You can get a leather bag for this, but I'm showing you the quick and dirty way of doing this, so that if you're just trying to get one little thing done, you don't want to buy a bunch of extra stuff. If you're just trying to do one little thing and don't want to have to buy a bunch of extra stuff, or you don't need to look especially pretty, or maybe you just like that rugged look, like my wife does, and this will get you there. So here we go. So the reason for the towel here is because that's going to let us, it's going to have some give to it. So it's not just going to dent the metal. It's going to allow it to spread out a little bit. So I'll show you what we got going on. All right, so you can see this is starting to dome out, and we're just going to keep doing that until we get it roughly outsized. Now you can see we got two bumps, but this one you can tell looks fairly uniform, relatively speaking, compared to this one, which looks, that's probably more rough than what you'd want. So this is how you smooth that out. Normally, you know, if you have a bajillion dollars, you get yourself an English wheel and you smooth that all out, do it all nice and good. But I'm going to show you how to do it real cheap. You go to Harbor Freight, get yourself one of these, you know, tool kits with all the body hammers in it, all the different size little hand dam builds. You get the horseshoe shaped one out, you put that in the back side of this. Then you take this, put it on there. That is a poor man's English wheel. So what you're going to do is you're just going to go over this until it all gets nice and smoothed out. The more you do it, the smoother it's going to get. I'm going to pound this out nice and smooth, cut it to shape, drill a few holes, and then I'll have a nice custom cover for over that cardboard here. Alright, you can see that's starting to smooth out, not looking quite so rough. The pounding went well, got it all hammered out to shape, cut off the rough edges, smoothed it out a little bit, but all I did was a little hand filing around the corners and chamfered the edges. Nothing you couldn't do with the tools I already showed, and this is the finished product here. Put a couple riv nuts behind this here to hold it on, but as you can see, doesn't look too bad for just you know, 10-15 minutes on the bench. Give it a pound. This hole here I drilled so I could get to my idle adjust, but you know, custom piece for real cheap that really gives it, I think, some custom flair to it. So a few finishing touches we put on it here. I put on, you might notice this if you're a Japanese car guy, that's what you use for like a drift car bumper, but it works really good. It's actually pretty stretchy and easy to get on, and you know, it can't come off because it won't go over that. Put this on, dimple dyed it, just put some basic hardware in there to keep it in place. Used just a random hinge we had laying around, bolted that up. Again, we don't really care if this is buttoned up tight. Made a nice little aluminum bracket for the blinker / tail lights that came out looking pretty good. And then underneath here we got push button for the start, on and off for the lights, kill switch for the ignition, gas tank with made the mounts for that as well, and just ripped that onto the plastic. And down here we had to make some clearances for the exhaust pipe and reinforce that. Again, just kind of ties in with some of the other metal bits we put on there. Gives it that, you know, custom look. I don't think anyone has to wonder whether or not this is factory or not. So that's the idea. And, oh yeah, these are my Mountain Dew safety goggles. Mountain Dew Vision. Whoa, everything's 10% more extreme. Anyways, I think now we're almost ready for a test ride. Right, first time out of the garage. This is the test ride. Took it out to our top secret testing facility adjacent to my house here. Plenty of space to go tearing around. I want to show you a few things now that it's out in the kind of daylight. Did you know they made a Yoshimura pipe in this size? Yeah, me neither, they don't. This is a Foshimura. I got that pylon and just strapped it onto the $40 pipe from Amazon. Got to have all the awesome stickers. That's my favorite part of the build, is to slap those on. The tires are holding up. It's a fully automatic engine, so that's why that's spinning. There's nothing I can do to stop that. I've tried tuning it every which way, but so far it's running great. It's a little bit of a bouncy ride, but I knew it was going to be. But it runs great and looks super cool. So far all the boxes are checked. Well, I'm going to go tear around some more. Thanks for sticking with to watch the progress of the build here. And stay tuned for the next project on Junk Hunter Garage. I mean, come on. That looks legit. That's pretty good. If I saw that on eBay for $20 more than just the pipe by itself, I think I'd buy it.